Okay, we are ready to go back together. So I'm going to start this. I'm going to build from the bottom up. Kind of work that away. Obviously, it's a little easier than starting from the top down. So first things first, we're going to put together this funky little. This is the actuator for that the plunger pulls on. I'm going to assemble that before it even goes on. A hell of a lot easier than trying to put stuff together and assemble it after the fact. So I'm just gonna. This clip usually can go on by hand. There we go. So we're ready to go there. Now you got to kind of work it in. I'm gonna do what I did yesterday. It worked pretty good. Pull it out. I'm gonna actually put this on first. Snake it in. So the spring goes on first. It makes your life considerably easier. Just hook that back over here, and we're good to go. Next, I'm going to put on this little stopper gizmo. The spring I left on over here, and I'm going to hook it on, and then bring it over the top. It's a lot easier than trying to mess around with needle nose pliers or something like that. Okay, now that is in place. Do something really controversial here. Put a drop of oil on there. If it makes your head blow up, don't do it. Some people do it, some people don't. If it's metal on metal, I prefer to do it. Maybe it'll get all gooped up, and in another 40 years, you'll have to take it apart again. But at least you can clean the part that's not worn out. Wears out, you're really screwed. Now, the clip needs to go on. I don't know if you saw what I did there. This got hung up on the white cam there, and this is kind of a common assembly thing. You got to keep adjusting stuff as you're building up because everything gets in the way of everything else. Now, here's a plastic cam. I don't know what to do about this thing. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of grease on it. This is a dielectric grease. And if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to tell me I'm a bozo for doing it, go ahead. That's how they came from the factory. And like I said, once every 50 years, you got to rebuild them. All right, so I'm gonna put this cam on, and you kind of twist it and donk around with it as it's going down. Now see I'm hung up down here, so I'll just pull that out a little bit. Pull that. Why are we not going in? We're hung up on this piece here. There you go. Okay, now we're down tight. I can put on, we can retain that fully at this point. Put on the snap ring, washer and snap ring. This one, for some reason, usually need a little help with the screwdriver. Here we go. Now, this is a plunger that I refaced before. Don't wait until the end and then go, oh, I forgot to put it on. So now's a really good time to do that. I'm going to use a new coil sleeve. The other one is still a little bit dirty, and I don't really feel like putting it back in. Put it on here, okay. Now, here's a little pro tip. These things are great, these screw retainer gizmos. If you load up what you need ahead of time, it'll help you put stuff together. So on goes the coil. Make sure you feed the sleeve in through its little slot there. Put on this silly little do-nothing insulator. Put in the coil stop. That is a new coil stop on there. Then just run the screw home. Did I just do that? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so one more screw on the coil stop. Push it up and tighten it. Put this switch stack back in place. Just generally, I like to not tighten one side before you bring the others, before you get everything all lined up. That's just general assembly techniques that I think I learned when I was 12, putting a wheelbarrow together. All right, now let's just real quick, we got all the business parts in, let's just sort of make sure everything works, right? Every switch needs to open and shut. Okay, so that switch is working. I'm gonna watch this one now. We're going around. That looks like it's working. I'm gonna tweak it just a tiny bit. I'm gonna watch the switch stacks down here. Everything's open now. Here they all closed. Now they're all open, so we're good. Watch that top one that I adjusted again. It's clearly open now. I think that needs just a little more love. Still open. Obviously closed. Okay, I think we're going to be good with that. All right, now I'm going to put circuit board back in. Put those couple of screws on. These, remember, have the little lock washer. You need to worry about the tooth lock washer. There's no good way to do this. That one's in, but not locked down. Some adjustment required after we get this put together. Okay. Now is where the adjustment comes in. So you need the circuit board to be dead in the middle of that wheel. If it isn't, if it's dragging on any of the corners, your score wheel won't work good, if at all. I think that's what was the death of these things, is there are just so many parts. I mean, they're beautiful pieces of machinery, but there's so many parts and so much, they're so fussy to put together. Okay, Next, the score reel needs to go on. I cleaned this one up earlier. Actually, I'm sorry, next the tone wheel needs to go on. Now, usually when I do these, I sort of stack them and hold one piece and while I do the next. If you look at the tone wheel, or the grounding wheel, I guess, 3 big holes over here, right? And then there's little. So if you look at the cam here on the top of the cam, there's the big hole. You gotta line up the big hole with the big hole. If you don't do that, you can jam it together wrong, but if you don't do it correctly, it'll say 1 when you have a score of 3 or something. So so get that all on there. Like I said, I have tried to sort of stack them up and put them together, and it just doesn't work. So I'm gonna just sort of put this piece on here and kind of juggle the other one into place. Needed to spin it around. Get the big hole in the right spot. So now it's all in place there. And I didn't do what I told you guys. Next I put the retaining piece on. No, I didn't do what I told you guys to do before, which was load up a screw, but you can just, it's recoverable error. Loaded up a screw, and that retaining screwdriver makes life a little easier. Okay, now it's pretty much done. It's got 2 more screws to go and we're good. Forgot one step. It's a recoverable error. I'll get to it in a second here. Okay. The step I forgot is I need to solder that wire back onto the grounding wheel. Or the tab there on the circuit board. Ain't going anywhere. All right, I think we are done. 12 minutes, record time for me.